There are still entirely too many Dantes on my server, and I just don't understand. Let's see if we can get some help.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charlie. This is Hero Wars Central, and in this video, I want to talk about how to counter Dante every single time. I was reading through comments of this video, which heroes to level first. A lot of controversial stuff in there. I mentioned Kark being the most popular warrior. He statistically is the most popular warrior. That's really all there is to it. But that's not why we're doing this video. I'm doing this video because of this comment right here from White Freeman's 5798. My list would be the Osh team and counters to Rufus, Dante, Fafnir, and Iris. Rufus, Dante, Fafnir, and Iris. This is a great strategy. It is not the best strategy. It is just a good strategy, right? If you're trying to build, the first 10 heroes on your account, which 10 heroes would you build? And his suggestion, of course, would be to build the Osh team, LOL Oshes, Isaac, Sebastian, Nebula, Zhu, and Martha to defeat, most PvE player versus environment things, including the Osh fight in City of Asgard, but also how to counter Dante. So I love new Clash of World because I can take a look at enemy lines and easily train against them. Now, this is going to be max testing, guys, so just bear that in mind. Everybody, their max testing's got its pros and cons. I'll put some in the description box down below if you're curious. And this is just one kind of instance, but this is the instance of the team that I'm building. So I'm just going to pick I'm actually just going to pick this team right here. We're going to throw on what's most likely the pets, or at least a common set of pets. This is probably Axel. This is probably Merlin. This is probably Left Blank. So the only really situation that you need, and these are the 4 heroes that I'm building for 2024. Like, if Dante continues to be as popular as he is, despite how easy as he is to counter, then these are the 4 heroes that does it every single time. And the way that this works... is you've got a way to clear out a high health tank, right? You've got a way to tank Dante in Morgan and Heidi's dodge artifact weapon. And since Dante pushes everybody back, Dorian is, the second best healer in the game now, presumably the first best healer in all of player versus player combat because of the way Dante pushes people back. Now you might say, okay, well, Faceless resets and Invari blocks people from moving, and those are all different ways to counter this movement effect. But the fact of the matter is that Dorian is the perfect healer to go up against these Dante lines that pushes you back. So these 4 heroes can take out the majority of Dante lines. Just about every Dante line that's out there, this guy can do it. And a lot of it has to do with just how good Morgan is at countering Dante. But of course, the dodge artifact is helpful. The damage, you really only need this one piece of damage, Iris, making her pretty essential. And Dorian next to Iris with her new artifact health and the high health that she has with Oliver, and it's just pretty incredible. The other side of things is, sometimes you can't just use those 4 heroes, and there's very few occasions when that's the case, and this right here happens to be one of them. And the separating factor between that is excuse me, is this team putting an excessive amount of pressure on the front line, or are they not? Okay, does the defending team have an Iris or an Ishmael or a Zhu in this case? And you can see that Zhu is going to, whoops, I gotta change this to max. There we go. You can see Zhu is going to punish no tank here. No tank means Zhu destroys you. And you can see it's just really fast. Just a lot of damage output. Morgan gets pushed back. It doesn't... I'm going to win anyway. Okay, well, I'm going to end anyway. There are a lot of occasions where you wouldn't be successful in this fight because of just how much damage that Zhu does to the front line. And Morgan can't really stand up to that. She can stand up to Dante just fine, but she can't really stand up to that. Okay, well, I was just kidding. This is fine. All right, so there's a defeat. If you just add any tank, like literally any tank, my tank of choice is Astaroth, but you can add in... you can add in like Invari. You can add in, any tank-like hero. Let's just add in Rufus, because that's what, a lot of people are going to be leveling up Rufus. Let's just add in Rufus. Biscuits, Oliver. Let's just add in Rufus, because a lot of people will be leveling Rufus up to counter Iris. And, just having that level of tank in the front is going to be just, even if he dies, it's long enough to keep your team alive to be able to, do the thing, to be able to, the Heidi poisons and the Iris pure damage and all of that. And that's really, I mean, that's really going to be what you need. It's like any tank should work there, right? But again, those 4 heroes. And I think we got one more Dante team. Yeah, this is what a lot of people complain about. Yeah, but that team doesn't work against Dante tank with Nebula. Well, yes, it does. And I'm not exactly sure. This is probably Merlin, and this is probably Axel. Yeah, max testing. Take the tank out. No frontline pressure here. Away we go. And again, this is max testing, so it's going to be a little while before you get here. And, you know, that extra 30 levels of artifacts at the top really helps keep Morgan alive against Dante. You might say run a tank against Iris, but Iris ult's a little too slow for this potential line. And it just kind of, oh, I lost one. Excuse me. Okay, maybe I do need to put a tank in here. All right, let's put a tank in here. All right, so you know what? Let's try a tank this time. Let's put Axel on there. You really should use Axel on a tank if you're going up against an Iris. We'll use Oliver and Biscuit there. Really should do that. Now, really the only way that this team can get a win against this line is a lucky critical hit on Iris or Dorian, stranding Dorian in the back, or, you know, maybe reducing your bulk damage. And if you do get a lucky critical hit, I guess Astaroth does end up being the best tank here to go up against, you know, some of these lines, because if your Iris gets, you know, crit hit immediately, then Astaroth just revives you. Yeah, so again, you know, this team works in a lot of instances. Let's see if we can find another Dante line. Okay, well, I don't know about this line. I'm not even going to mess with that one. That's a little different because of the buff, which I guess it does matter, though. I guess it does matter. Magic damage reduction. Sure. Let's try this one. Let's try this one here. Let's leave the magic reduction on there. Albus, Kane, Fenris, I guess. Axel, probably. Max. I mean, I guess we could change this to Corvus. Change this to Corvus to counter that. That Yasmin a little bit. You don't see Yasmin's on defense that much. It's interesting. Yasmin's good to counter Iris, but Iris's health is too high now. She really can't counter anymore. Doesn't really work. Yeah, so the 4 heroes that you should level up if your goal is, again, if you started over and you were leveling just a few heroes, you know, my list would be Osh team plus counters to Rufus, Dante, Fafnir, and Iris. We didn't really talk about Fafnir here, but I did talk about Iris a little bit. So, yeah, on screen now, more discussion about the same theme that I just showed you. Hope everybody's having a great Monday. I love you all. Good luck in Dominion.